I'm Mandy. Welcome to Souped Up Recipes. Today, we're making Taiwanese beef noodle soup. This is a must-try recipe because nothing is more satisfying than enjoying a bowl of hearty, savory noodle soup topped with tender, succulent beef. If you're looking for something easy and fulfilling to make for dinner, this is it. Let's get started. Cut the beef into 1-inch cubes. I'm using beef chuck, but other tough cuts such as brisket, shank, and sirloin tip will also work. Add the beef to a stock pot and fill it with 2 liters of water. I like to add a few pieces of beef neck bones, giving the broth a collagen-rich foundation. You can also use femur bones or beef ribs. Turn the heat to high and bring it to a boil. Please partially put on the lid, otherwise the water will overflow easily. When it comes to a boil, you will see a lot of foamy scum. Use a sieve to skim it out. Remove the beef from the pot and rinse under running water. Make sure you rub the beef, especially the gap of the neck bones, because the foamy scum like to cling onto the meat. Drain and set the beef on the side. Chinese people prefer a clean and clear broth, so normally we would discard this whole pot of blanching water because it is really cloudy. I know some of you may think it is a waste of flavor, so I'm actually going to show you how to reuse it. Just simply let it go through a fine cheesecloth to remove all the impurities. Look how clear that is. Now we can reserve the broth on the side for later use. I like to use a clay pot to do the braising because it has a high heat capacity. The material retains the heat, then redistributes it to the food slowly, so you can maintain a low and slow cooking over the stovetop with just minimum amount of heat. If you don't have a clay pot, you can use a heavy-duty Dutch oven, a pressure cooker, or a slow cooker. Preheat the clay pot until hot. Add 1.5 tablespoons of cooking oil and 3 tablespoons of sugar. Stir over low heat until caramelized. This will take a few minutes. Using a black cookware makes it a bit hard to view the color of the caramel, but don't worry. Just wait for these foamy bubbles. That is the cue to add 1/4 cup of soy sauce and stir to let the heat to activate the fragrance of the soy sauce, making the flavor more complex. Also, a little bit of liquid seasoning helps to cool the clay pot, so you don't burn the sugar. But you do need to be careful because the soy sauce will splatter. Now, we're gonna add 2.5 tablespoons of Sichuan doubanjiang because Taiwanese beef noodle soup is originally from Sichuan, China. This is what I'm using. I'll link it in the description. You can check it out if needed. Stir the doubanjiang over low heat until the oil becomes bright red. Continue by adding 2 tablespoons of tomato paste and 1.5 teaspoons of dark soy sauce. Mix until well combined. The sauce looks really good. Now we can add the beef into the clay pot along with 3 tablespoons of Chinese cooking wine. Stir for a couple of minutes or until everything is mingled well. Pour in the reserved blanching water. The amount should be enough to cover everything. If not, you can add more water. Turn the heat to high and it will take a few minutes to come to a boil. Meanwhile, you can prepare the aromatics and the spices. You will need 6 slices of ginger, 6 cloves of garlic, 2 scallions, which I have cut into stalks, half of a sweet onion cut into chunks, 1 cinnamon stick, 3 bay leaves, 1 star anise, 3 dried red chilies, 1 piece of aged tangerine peel. It provides a nice citrus aroma. If you don't have it, you can use fresh orange peel. Last, 1 teaspoon of Sichuan peppercorns. I like to add everything into spice bags so you can easily remove them later. The water should come to a boil by now. Add the spice bags, turn the heat to low, and simmer the beef for 2 hours. Since we have plenty of time to wait, let me share some great news with you. My cookbook is finally ready for sale. You can click the link in the description and purchase this great Chinese cookbook. I carefully selected 168 recipes featuring popular takeout dishes, easy family meals, various regional specialties, and classic traditional delicacy. Each recipe comes with a demo video, step-by-step photos, clear techniques, and secret tips. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned chef, you'll be able to cook better than takeout and savor the local meals like the native Chinese. Alright, 2 hours later, the beef should be tender. Remove the spice bags. Make sure to squeeze the liquid so you don't waste anything. Take out the beef neck bones. There is some meat attached to them. I don't want to waste that, so let's take the meat off and discard the bones. A fun fact, this dish has become the most popular flavor in the Chinese instant noodle industry. This is what Chinese people will keep in the pantry in case of urgent hunger. You know, sometimes you just get hungry in the middle of the night. But obviously, there is no beef inside, so homemade is always better. Okay, put the meat back into the broth. Let me taste it at this moment because I want to be accurate after 2 hours of simmering. Mine needs a little bit more salt. Alright, the beef is done braising. Let's set it aside for now because we're not going to cook the noodles directly in the broth. Otherwise, they will release starch and make the broth cloudy. Therefore, I boiled a pot of water on the separate stove. We're gonna cook the noodles in here. I'm using fresh egg noodles, which you can buy from almost any Asian market. Mine are homemade. You can check this video to learn how to make your own. Of course, other types of noodles will also work, such as pasta, udon, and ramen noodles. This recipe is enough to serve 4 to 5 people, so technically you will have to boil 4 to 5 portions of noodles. But this is a demo video, so I'm going to cook 1 portion for now. Fresh noodles cook really fast. Only need to boil them for a few minutes, and they should be al dente. If you're using dried noodles, please follow the cooking instructions on the package. Once the noodles are almost done cooking, add the baby bok choy and blend for 30 seconds. To make 1 serving, add 1 1/4 cup of beef braising broth. Take the noodles out of the water and put it right into the serving bowl. When I eat this in a restaurant, they only gave me a few pieces of meat, but now I can top as much beef as I want. Last, add a few pieces of bok choy to balance the meal. This looks like something you would put as an ad for a restaurant. Are you hungry? Because I'm ready to eat. The noodles are nice and chewy. The beef is soft and melt in your mouth tender. Take a sip of the soup. It will warm you up all the way down to your heart. My stomach is so happy today. I hope you give this a try soon. As always, the printable recipe link is in the description. Go check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more easy and authentic Chinese food. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!